Hello everyone, welcome to Ben's Corner, coming at you today with a public service announcement. This is because I believe that the world's format may have been revealed. Let's take a look at it. So this is the Japanese Road to World's Championship, and well, each region kind of has its own thing, as you know, not exactly uniform when it comes to structure or rules. But anyway, moving on. So today there were a few announcements for tournaments, and there will be 4 slots from Japan. The first one's already taken in the Standard Championship 2023. Kaka won that, and he already qualified. He was the first player to qualify here. Next, we'll have the L3 Championship, which obviously is going to be an L3 format, where the winner will also directly qualify for Worlds. We also have our national championships, so national qualifiers are going on around, and the winner will qualify for Worlds. And then there's the Japan Cup 2023. This was the format, the details were revealed today, and this is where I believe that the World's format will be, well, it's either going to be like the Japan Cup. I think they'll probably test this format. They'll have this tournament to test it out, and if it's not similar to the Japan Cup, it'll be heavily based whether in this tournament or the conclusions that they draw from this tournament. So let's take a look at it. 2-day tournament to be held in October 7th and 8th in Yokohama, which is really convenient for me. So I do intend to go to the tournament. Let's see. And so double deck format with 1 deck in Standard and 1 deck in L3. I was expecting something like this, to be honest, and probably, I think, players around the world did have an idea that Japan is pushing quite a bit of L3. Maybe this will draw some more attention to it. As I do think, like I said, that this will probably be the same format as Worlds. So anyone can enter the Japan Cup. If you happen to be in town during this time, feel free to register and come in and play. While there's no requirements for playing, you cannot get your Worlds qualification unless you live in Japan. So do keep that in mind. And what do you need? You need 2 decks. You need deck lists, of course, So moving on, as details about the format. You can play the same card, the same numbered card in both decks. So it's not like a normal standard double deck format, where normally you can't have the same card in both decks. Because these are different formats, it makes sense. It just makes sense that you can have the same card in both decks. And also worth mentioning is that you don't need to have 6 copies or more than 3 copies of the same card. If you want to play 3 copies of the same card in both decks, there will be time for you to re-sleeve your deck, and if you want to move certain cards from your standard deck onto your L3 format deck, then that is perfectly fine. So don't worry about that. And so the first day, so 8 rounds on the first day. 8 rounds is it's pretty tough. It's pretty long. And the first 4 will be played in Standard, and the last 4 will be played in L3. Here we have a little note about the City of Final Fantasy Collection 2023 that goes on sale exactly the day before the tournament. So these cards cannot be used for this tournament. just for participating, this is really nice. You get Glaciella and Chalinka, which has not been distributed in Japan at all. So this naturally made the player base, quite happy that we're finally getting this card. So you get these just for as an entry prize. That's pretty nice. Here we go. Details on the first day. First 4 rounds, standard format. Second 4 rounds, L3. It's single elimination, 30 minutes. Same as always. Nothing particular on the rounds themselves. A little note here. So during the 4th and 5th rounds, there will be time for you to re-sleeve your deck if you have to, if you need to. So that's pretty nice, not making us get 6 copies of the same card. Yeah, so pretty much standard stuff here. Standard, when I mean standard, I mean normal, not the format. And this is rough. This is really rough. Only top 8 moves on to the second day, which again, I guess if they're trying out for Worlds, if they're testing this format out for Worlds, I guess it makes sense, considering that the Worlds number of participants is quite reduced. So yeah, it's something to keep in mind. And second day is quite interesting. So it'll be best of 3, and each game will have a 30-minute limit. So it won't be like the 3 rounds have an X amount of time, which seems to be different for whatever reason in some regions. Some regions is 70 minutes, some regions 90, some regions apparently don't even have a time limit for best of 3. These will be treated as independent games, each game, each round, not each round, each game itself. So it'll be 30 minutes for each game, with the first game being played in standard, the second game being played in L3, and if it goes to game 3, the format of the third game will be decided by the player who ranked the highest in Swiss the previous day. This is huge. So it won't be random. It won't be decided randomly. If you finished first and you're facing the 8th, you'll have an advantage because you get to pick the format of the last game. Yes, pretty huge deal finishing first, I guess. Not only that, so the player who ranked highest in Swiss gets to pick the third game format. Not only that, they also get to pick whether they go first or second in the first game. So in the first game, it won't be random. The choice will not be decided randomly. The player who ranked highest in Swiss will get to choose whether they want to go first or second. And again, pretty huge deal. After that, yeah, loser gets to pick second and third game. But yeah, finishing higher than your opponent will be a pretty huge deal, considering that if you go to game 3, you get to pick the format, and game 1, you get to pick going first. Well, naturally, I think normally that's what you want to do. You want to go first. It's pretty huge deal. And then we have some pricing information here. So top 16 gets the cloud, even though there's only top 8 moves to day 2. Top 16 gets the cloud, which is nice. Top 8 gets the playmat, and then first and second get a trophy, and with the first, naturally, with the winner qualifying for Worlds. Yep, so that's it. Double deck format, double format tournament. I think it'll be very interesting. I think one thing that I probably scrolled through is that between the first 4 rounds and the second 4 rounds, there is a chance that you might be paired against the same opponent. So this will be quite interesting to see how it unfolds as well. Since it's different formats, that if that happens, you won't need to call a judge and ask for repairing or anything. That's a possibility, and if it happens, that's just the way it is. It is specifically mentioned that you may be paired against the same opponent in different formats. Like I said, I do intend to participate, so hopefully I will have more information from you on site, and as well as feedback after the tournament. Yeah, I do believe that this structure, if it's not the same as Worlds, it's definitely something that they're considering. They're going to try it out, see how it goes. Maybe there'll be adjustments made after this based on their feedback. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this double deck, double format structure for a tournament? You can leave it on the comments here or go to my Facebook page, Ben's Corner, and we can discuss there as well. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.